Inside your spotlight this morning, we're chatting about Vincy Mas, and I want to welcome Ezwood Roberts, the Marketing and Development Officer at the Carnival Development Corporation for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to you, Ezzy.
Good morning to all your viewers.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show.
Yes, man.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, I'm good.
So we have Vincy Mas taking place from June 27 to July 8th, right?
Yes, correct.
And every year you guys come down around Carnival time in Trinidad and Tobago to showcase, to tell people about Vincy Mas. How was the response when you come to Trinidad and you engage people?
Well, we actually continue coming to Trinidad and Tobago because we recognize the fact that Trinidad is the mecca of Carnival.
We appreciate your
very
recognition.
large. Yes, yeah. You have a very large population, 1.3 million plus persons, and then you also have a big diaspora population living in the diaspora. A lot of them return to Trinidad and Tobago. Plus the visitors who come from all over the world that come to Trinidad. So while we're physically in Trinidad doing promotions, we actually get the opportunity to interact and to send our message and sell our brand to persons from all over the world.
And how has it worked before? Like in the past when you come down, how does it work in terms of what is the response people give you?
We get very positive response. In fact, I have a number of persons who came to Vincy Mas in the past who said that, hey, I saw you on the television, I saw your promotion on the Avenue, because we normally do promotion on the Avenue. Yeah. Last year, we actually had a number of persons who interacted with us, stated that they saw us on the Avenue and were able to interact with the brand ambassadors, and they had scanned the QR code and then they got information on Vincy Mas, etc., etc.
Nice. So that means it working well.
Definitely.
Tell me some of the promotional strategies that you're taking this year to be able to spread the word.
Well, I'm utilizing radio, television, as we are doing now, radio, television, the newspaper, physically in party doing activation at Brunch and Soca, and we also going to be doing our activation on the Avenue as well.
Okay, and those activations, you said Brunch and Soca?
Brunch and Soca,
yeah,
that's Carnival Sunday, the
Carnival
second.
Sunday.
Yeah, at Hazy Crawford
Okay, so you'll be a part of that as well?
Yes.
And then you said you're also going to be along the Avenue and other places, just kind of telling people about the information, scanning QR codes, etc.
Exactly, promoting our brand. Yeah.
Tell me what makes Vincy Mas so special?
Vincy Mas, our tagline is the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. And when we say the hottest, we are making reference to our energy and vibe. We are friendly people, very friendly. We often get that response from a lot of visitors when they come to our shows, whether during Carnival or outside of Carnival, because we have a number of other festivals that take place in St. Vincent throughout any calendar year. So we are very friendly, but when it comes to Carnival, we are into the party mode, and we actually have a lot of energy and vibe. It's different, you know. So that is one of the things that our Carnival would stand out for. The other thing is that we realize Carnival these days now, it's basically being commercialized, even in terms of the fêtes, in terms of the costumes and everything. It is different than what it used to be 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So what we have in St. Vincent, though, we are still able, despite that new trend, we are still able to have the majority of the bands still doing traditional mass.
Okay.
So the guys still go into the mass tent, they cut out the patterns with the cardboard, and they use various type of materials, and they build costumes by hand. I'm talking referencing the sections, actually, because we know now a lot of the mass are imported from other places.
They import because they get it mass produced, right?
Yes.
But you're saying that all the bands or some of the bands?
Some of the bands.
Okay.
For example, we have in any one year maybe 14 or 15 mass bands, but you would find only 3 of the bands might be doing that type of importation of costume. The others basically make the costumes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have a wealth of wire benders and mask makers on the island.
Correct. Each of the mask tents, they have the team.
Yeah.
They have their workforce, and they go to work and build these costumes.
Do you know if there's any integration or interaction with Trinidad and Tobago mask makers and the St. Vincent mask makers?
Yeah. Over the years, that has been taking place where there's connection. Well, throughout the Caribbean, you find that kind of interaction whereby some bands might be associated with a designer from Trinidad or a mask builder may come up and do some work and so forth. And likewise, our Vincy Mas men go to other islands like Grenada, and they go to Antigua and St. Kitts and so on, and participate in building costumes of bands over there. So, I mean, Carnival is a culture across the region, and we have to facilitate that interaction and that movement of artisans to hone the craft. Yeah.
Do you know about the continuity though, in terms of these mask makers, the style benders, do they pass on their knowledge to younger generations? Do they mentor people? Do you know if there's that level of continuity happening?
Yes, that is happening. In fact, within the last few years, a number of our seasoned massmen passed away. But the tents are still able to continue because you have a younger generation that are taking part in the mass building in the tents, and they're able to carry on the work. And that's very important. That's why the junior shows, for example, in our carnival, we ensure that we have our junior shows continuing, junior pan, junior calypso, junior mass, and so forth, because you have to continue to keep that young energy involved, keep the interest there in carnival. So that
what is the response like on that junior level when you have those competitions? Is it that we have full slate of artists? Do we have to find children to be a part of it, or is it like everybody's encouraged and join and welcome to join?
Yeah, the bands definitely don't really suffer from a lack of junior masqueraders.
Right.
The bands, I find the junior carnival is well supported. A lot of the parents bring their children forward, they choose which bands they're playing with, they get registered, and they come out and play mass for Kiddies Carnival. Yes.
And what about in terms of the calypso competitions and that sort of thing?
Junior calypso as well. We have junior calypso soca.
Right.
So on that day, we have junior calypso in primary and secondary schools. And then the junior soca monarch is a combined show with primary and secondary.
Okay.
So you have 3 categories of competitions in one day.
Nice.
Yeah, and we actually have great participation as well at the school level. A number of these schools have music programs and so forth, and they get the interest starts from they being involved in music. Then they identify the ones who can sing. We also have a school band showcase where the schools, some of the schools actually have bands, so we put them together on a show. And
when you say bands, like musical bands?
Musical bands, yeah.
Nice.
But that show is not held during Carnival. That's normally all year in the year. Yeah.
Okay. And at Carnival, well, Carnival time is, you said June 27th to July 8th are the dates for the
this
Carnival.
year.
Yeah, for this year, for the Carnival. And it just happens to be kind of close to the hottest months of the year, so it just kind of coincides with the hottest Carnival, right?
Yes, correct.
Which kind of makes sense. Now, over the years, we've seen lots of soca artists coming to Trinidad and Tobago from St. Vincent.
Yes.
And we've been celebrating them. Is that exchange that happens as well during, because I've been to Vincy Mas once.
Okay.
Many years ago at this point. But I did note the unity that was very different from what we used to see in Trinidad at that point in time. Because if I remember correctly, it was Problem Child and Skinny Fabulous. They had the 2 biggest songs of the year, of the Carnival season.
Okay.
And in Trinidad, when that happens, we tend to put them against each other.
Okay.
So like, for example, now we have Carry It or Party, and it's either this one or this one.
Yeah.
And I remember that year, what stood out to me was that Problem Child was hired for the performance. And they were both hired on the same show. I think it was like Fire Fest. You'll have a Fire Fest as well.
We
right?
had a Fire Fest at one time.
So that's how long ago it was,
okay,
right?
yeah.
So I remember Problem came out and mashed up the place, absolutely mashed up the place. And then while he was at the peak of mashing up the place, he brought out Skinny Fabulous, and Skinny Fabulous took it up to a whole next level.
Yeah.
And when we asked them about it after, they said, no, there's no competition for us because we are both artists. We have the 2 biggest songs.
Yeah.
Why not give the people what the people want?
And create entertainment.
And for me, that is a part of what creates that idea of not commercializing anything, not making it just pitting one against the other, and kind of having that unity. Do you feel like that unity still exists?
That unity still exists. Locally, we have a number of artists who would bring each other on stage. And we also have it regionally, where a lot of the artists, through their connection with artists from Trinidad, for example, they will bring them over when their shows and so on. And in every carnival, every Vincy Mas, there are Trini artists who will come and take part, be it in the CDC organized activities or some of the promoters. They also have connections with these artists that they bring them over. DJs from Trinidad and elsewhere come to Vincy Mas as well. I mean, Carnival is a culture that exists within the region, and we all have to share the platform, share the stage, and so on. So while we want to have the Skinny Fabulous and the Problem Child and the other artists from St. Vincent performing in Trinidad, we also create a platform for them, for Trinidadians to perform in St. Vincent.
Tell me what, in your experience, is the biggest difference between Trinidad Carnival and St. Vincent Carnival?
Our Carnival Monday is different.
All right, tell me about it.
In Trinidad, you have some of your revelers would come out in a part of their costume for Tuesday.
But at this point, they have a whole different outfit for Monday and Tuesday. You know, like I mentioned, the commercialization, they have Monday wear now. So they have a whole different outfit on Monday from the Carnival costume on Tuesday.
Right. But in St. Vincent, our Monday is Juve in the morning, and we big on T-shirt bands. So
T-shirt
the
band.
Monday afternoon
Right.
T-shirt band parade. That's what we have on Mondays. Now, this is basically you're wearing a T-shirt, supposed to wear jeans, shorts, whatever. And basically, these bands are sponsored by major brands. So it's an advertising avenue for businesses and companies and brands and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
That's-
I think we used to do that some version of that where we had a kind of T-shirt-ish situation on Mondays, but now we going way fancier than that. If people want to get more information on Vincy Mas, where can they go?
Vincy Mas, you can go to our Facebook page. It's just Vincy Mas, VINCYMAS. The Instagram is Vincy_Mas, and our website is vincymas.vc.
Nice.
Vincymas.vc.
Well, Azzy, let me say thank you very much for joining us this morning, and of course for coming back to Trinidad every year to spread the word about Vincy Mas, and we hope we can have some more integration happening and more trainees coming across to take part and celebrate and enjoy Vincy Mas as well.
Welcome all the Trinidadians to come across. Book your flights early. Make your arrangement for accommodation, car rentals, etc. Make all your plans early, and we welcome you to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for Vincy Mas.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Ezwit Roberts, the Marketing and Development Officer from the Carnival Development Corporation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, sharing with us a little bit about how we can be prepared for Vincy Mas 2025. It's kicking off June 27th, July 8th. Stay tuned. We have more when we come back on the Now Morning Show.